Hey guys, what's up? I'm Justin with MLB Baseball Blogs here with our Part 2 video with Mr. Philadelphia Phillies himself, Tim from the Cash Kelly and AC Sports Report, here along with Richard from our site. So guys, what's going on? Welcome to Part 2.
Welcome to Part 2 of this great Phillies video.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? A lot of Part 2s to like our top 5 countdown. Expect it for the next teams we're going to be doing as well.
Yeah, we have 2 more teams after this. Last year's World Series, Rangers, Giants. So let's continue on. Starting at shortstop, we have Jimmy Rollins. Tim, tell me about Jimmy Rollins. How well will he do in 2011?
That's $1 million question. The biggest thing he's had trouble with, something that he was known for his first 9 years of his career, was staying healthy. The last few years he hasn't been able to do it. Obviously he's declined. He's not going to win an MVP or hit 30 home runs. He's in a contract year this year, and what the Phillies need this guy to do is hit about 275 with 12 or 13 home runs, be a catalyst for that lineup, and one thing that hasn't changed is the fielding.
Yeah, the Phillies really just need some sort of life out of Jimmy Rollins. I mean, he's getting older. They need him to play a good shortstop. Double-digit home runs isn't out of the question. 270, 280 average would be nice. I just think Jimmy Rollins are getting older. I think the Phillies will re-sign him, though. Pending a good season, of course.
Yeah, I mean, there's not that many good shortstops around, so.
Is he going to be re-signed to the Phillies after this season?
It depends how the Phillies do. It depends what happens with Chase Utley and Raul Ibanez and Ben Francisco. I mean, after this season, there's a lot of questions for this team.
Yeah, I mean, they have a great pitching, but you also said that this could be the World Series or maybe not the World Series. It's hard to predict as of right now. Going over to third base, I actually decided to put Placido Polanco at second base and put Wilson Valdez at third. Tim, do you think that would happen, or will they continue to put Wilson Valdez at second and Placido at third?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think the biggest question, I mean, Valdez has too strong of an arm for second. That's one thing they saw last year. But I think the biggest thing is they don't know if Polanco has the range to play second anymore. Wilson Valdez is a fine third baseman. I mean, he was playing third when Holiday threw that no-hitter in the playoffs because Polanco was injured. He's good arm, good fielder, just not a great hitter.
That's an interesting proposition, but I just think Placido Polanco is too old to play second base now. It's kind of like the Miguel Tejada thing, moving from shortstop to third. Wilson Valdez is younger, of course, but I think he'll man second base alright. I think Placido will be playing at third.
I only know Placido for playing with Detroit, so Tim, do you think that this upcoming season is a good year for Placido?
You know, he's a consistent hitter. Another guy that rushed back from injury. Prior to doing that, he was batting 320. He ended up hitting 296. This is a contact hitter, but he's one of the better contact hitters in the game. He's one of the few guys in this lineup that doesn't strike out a lot, so he's an important piece to this team. But they need him to be kind of one of the constant, just get on base, set it up for the Howards, and who knows? Ibanez's, Utley's, Ben Francisco's. A lot of questions right now.
Yeah, Placido Polanco's always been a contact hitter. I think that if he can hit in the 280 range, that'd be really nice from a guy, from a guy like Polanco at his age.
Alright, so let's move out to this outfield. I mean, we talked about the whole infield. All positions have been covered, but let's head out to this outfield. Let's start out in center field. I mean, Shane Victorino. Tim, this is pretty much all your video. I'm just going to ask you the questions. All the simple questions. How well do you think that Victorino's going to do, and is he going to be the stolen base guy this season?
Well, last year he had trouble staying healthy like everyone in this lineup. And then what he also did was he tried to hit home runs, and he's not a home run hitter. And a lot of things just didn't go right for this team last year. And he was one of them at the plate, on the base paths. He's not the necessarily smartest guy. And he should steal more bases, though. In an off year, he had 34 stolen bases. He's good for about 13 to 16 home runs and 280-some average. I mean, he had a down year last year because he was swinging for the fences. He needs to know what he is and be a better player this year.
Yeah, let's hope the Flying Hawaiian returns with a bang this season. Like Tim said, a very injury-prone season. I think he's at a lock for, I'd say, 27 to 35 stolen bases. That's about a 282 average, 14 home runs, and 56 RBIs. This guy's good when he's healthy.
Yeah, going on to right field, I mean, I don't know how else to put it for Victorino. He's going to have a decent season. Going on to the other outfield, let's have Ben Francisco. I think that this guy, I don't know much about Ben Francisco, but I think that he should be the backup for Dominic Brown. I think Dominic Brown's a better, well, Francisco has more experience, but Dominic Brown had a good season last year as a rookie. Tim, do you think that he's going to be a decent outfielder this year for Francisco?
Well, actually, Dominic Brown had a terrible season last year, and he's hurt, and I just don't think he's quite ready. I think, as me and Richard were chatting off the air, I think he may end up being a bust, but this has been Francisco's year. This guy is a typical fourth outfielder on most good teams, but the bottom line, he had 1 year where he started, he had about 15 to 20 home runs. That's all they need out of this guy. Decent fielding, just get the job done. He's had a nice spring training, and I think they'll be all right with him. Dominic Brown, at least the Phillies think is their future, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, Dominic Brown, I don't really like what I've seen from him so far. As he's been one of the highest rated prospects for like 2 years in a row, maybe even 3 years in a row now. This is Ben Francisco's year to step up to the plate as the new right fielder. They also have John Mayberry Jr., Ross Gload can play a little right field, but this is Ben Francisco's right field this year. I think he has some power. Oh, sorry, Tim?
No, go ahead.
Well, I think Ben Francisco can hit maybe 270, but I think it'll be in more of the 260 range. About 15 home runs, and maybe in the 60 RBI category if he's the everyday starter.
Yeah, I mean, John Mayberry is another interesting guy. He's had a nice spring training. When he's been up before, basically what has been is he'll go 1 for 10, and that one will be a home run. So, you never know what you're getting out of this guy. We'll have to see, but he's looked a lot better this season.
So there you guys have it on Ben Francisco, or whatever his name is. I don't know much about this Phillies team, except Tim. Let's go off to the last outfielder position. We got Raul Ibanez. Tim, how well is he going to do this season?
Well, he's in a contract year, too. I mean, the other thing we're talking about here is that he's in a contract year, and the last 2 seasons, he's had good half seasons. The first season is here. He was a monster the first half of the season, on his way to winning MVP, and then he was slow the second half. Last year, he was terrible first half, had a strong second half. What they need out of him is 20 home runs for sure, and they need him to not be a liability in the field, which he normally hasn't been in his first 2 seasons here. He's declining. This will be, for sure, in my opinion, his last season on the team, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think Raul Ibanez, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's 36 or 37 years old.
I think he actually might be 38. I mean, he's old.
30, yeah, he's getting old. And, I mean, he might become a liability in the field at his age. I think this is going to be his last year on the team, unfortunately. Maybe his replacement will be John Mayberry Jr. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, he's 38 years old.
38, yeah. So, I mean, I think this is his last year. First year of the Phillies, monster. Really good year. I think that he'll have a decent season. I don't know if he'll slug 20 home runs this season. I think at 38, I think 17 sounds reasonable. Maybe a 262 average. I mean, he's just getting older. I mean, you can't really expect much out of a guy who's 38. You can't expect him to crack 25 home runs unless you're A-Rod or some guy like that. But I think this is Raul Ibanez's last year as a Philadelphia Philly.
I think it'll probably be his last year in the NL, so we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. That is pretty much it right now. Guys, let's just sum this up for them. Where do the Phillies fall in 2011? I have them making the World Series and possibly falling to the Red Sox. But right now it's hard to say because the season hasn't even started yet. But that's just my prediction. I think they're going to fall to the Red Sox.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, there's so many questions with this Phillies team. But the bottom line is they have the stars there and that pitching staff. If you just get to the playoffs. That'll carry you pretty far. And I think looking at the lineup, I think Howard will have a better season this year. The players that have the bounce-back seasons, the Chase Utleys and Brad Bridges are the key, though.
Okay, my prediction on the Phillies, pending health. If Chase Utley can be healthy and Brad Litch can return to any sort of form that he was when he had that perfect season, I have the Phillies beating the Oakland Athletics in the World Series in 5 games. Pending health, this can be a really good team. I like the A's shot a lot this year. Yeah, I got the Phillies in 5 over the A's.
I like that pick.
Well, there you go. That's our prediction for this Philadelphia Phillies squad. I mean, how else can we put it? I'm Just from MLB Baseball Blogs. That's Richard from MLB Baseball Blogs. That's Sam from the Cash Kelly and AC Sports Report. Guys, 2 more videos and we are officially done. We got the World Series from last season, guys, and we are officially done with our countdown. I'm Justin, and that's Richard, and that's Tim. We'll talk to you guys later. 2 more teams left. Have a great week. Bye.